Okay, so Elon Musk is out here betting billions that his next AI, Grok 5, is going to be smarter than any human. The big question is, right, is this a real breakthrough, or is it just more hype? Well, we've dug through all the official specs, all the insider leaks, to try and figure out what's really going on. So, let's get into it.
6 trillion. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is the rumored parameter count for Grok 5. I mean, it absolutely dwarfs models like GPT-4 and Gemini. We're not talking about a simple upgrade here. This is a completely different league. It's a massive, monumental leap in scale. But believe it or not, the giant numbers, they're really just the beginning of this story.
And then, of course, there's the claim that just changes the entire conversation. Musk says there's a 10% chance it reaches human-level intelligence. See, he's not just trying to build a smarter chatbot. His target is artificial general intelligence, AGI. An AI that can truly reason, learn, and understand just like a person. So that's what we're here to do today. We're going to cut through all that noise and show you what's real, what's still just speculation, and what this whole thing could mean for all of us.
Okay, so first things first. We have to separate the facts from the fiction. I mean, with this much hype flying around, it is absolutely crucial that we ground this whole conversation in what we actually know for sure about Grok 5.
All right, so let's break it down. On one side, you have the officially confirmed stuff. We know for a fact Grok 5 is in training. That came straight from xAI's funding announcements. And Elon Musk himself has confirmed that 6 trillion parameter goal. But then, you look at the other side, and that's where all the speculation and the rumors start to swirl. Things like the giant context window, those projected benchmark scores, all of that is still coming from unverified leaks, so it's super important to keep that distinction in mind as we go.
So you can't just build a model this ridiculously big out of thin air, right? You need some seriously massive hardware to back it up. So now, let's take a look inside Colossus. That's the supercomputer xAI built specifically to make Grok 5 a reality. Honestly, the hardware is what makes any of these ambitious claims even remotely possible.
Okay, so under the hood, Grok 5 is using something called a mixture of experts architecture. The easiest way to think about it is like having a huge team of specialists. When you ask a question, the system doesn't bother everyone. Instead, it intelligently routes your question to just the 2 or 3 experts who are best suited for that specific job. And that is the secret sauce. It's how Grok 5 can be so incredibly massive without being impossibly slow or inefficient. It's all about working smarter, not just bigger. And what's powering this whole system? The Colossus 2 supercomputer. And get this, we are talking about over 200,000 of the most advanced GPUs on the planet, and they were all put together in a record-breaking 122 days. This isn't a future plan. This is the AI hardware arms race happening in real time right now. Now, as you can imagine, all those GPUs are incredibly thirsty for power. Colossus 2 eats up 2 gigawatts. To put that in perspective, that is roughly the same amount of electricity used by an entire mid-sized city. And what's wild is that xAI has plans to scale this even further. And finally, let's talk about the rumored context window, because this is huge. We're hearing 1.5 million tokens. So what does that actually mean in plain English? It means the model could basically ingest and analyze an entire software codebase, a mountain of legal documents, or hours of video, all in a single prompt. This isn't just a small improvement, it's a total game changer for how we'll be able to interact with AI. Okay, so we've got all this incredible, mind-bending hardware. The big question is, what can it all actually do? Well, the new capabilities we're hearing about for Grok 5 are way more than just simple incremental upgrades. They really represent a fundamental shift in what an AI model can even do. We can pretty much break down the major upgrades into 3 core areas. First up is native multimodality. That's all about bringing vision, audio, and text into one seamless model. Second, there's a brand new dynamic agent system for handling tasks all on its own. And third, there's this really interesting thing they're calling the reality engine, which is basically a built-in fact checker. Now, this agent system is where things get really interesting, you know? Previous models, they had a fixed set of tools they could use, but Grok 5 can reportedly spawn specialized agents on the fly. So it can create one for research, another for coding, a third for analyzing an image, and then have them all work together to solve complex problems totally autonomously. This is what moves AI from being just a Q&A tool to being more like an entire project manager. But of course, xAI isn't operating in a vacuum here. They're not the only players in this game. Grok 5 is jumping into an incredibly fierce race against the other giants of the industry. So the big question is, how does it actually stack up?
And this really captures the current state of the AI race perfectly. It's not really about one single model being the best anymore. Each of these companies is playing a different game. They have a different strategy. You've got OpenAI's GPT-5, which has that huge, entrenched developer community. Then you have Google and Anthropic, who are really focused on safety for the enterprise. But Grok 5? It's making its bet on two very specific key differentiators.
And this right here? This is Grok's secret weapon. It's ace in the hole. First, it's the raw, unbelievable scale we've been talking about. And second, and this is huge, it's the direct pipeline to the live, real-time data fire hose from the X platform. No one else has that. So the thinking is, if your top priority is the most up-to-the-minute information, combined with powerful reasoning, Grok 5 is being positioned to be the undisputed champion.
Which, of course, brings us all the way back to the ultimate question. We've seen the insane hardware, we've looked at the architecture, we've talked about the incredible new capabilities. But does all of that actually add up to Elon Musk's grand claim of artificial general intelligence?
The honest truth is, the whole AGI debate is incredibly complex and, well, messy. There isn't even one single agreed-upon definition of what AGI is. Now, don't get me wrong, Grok 5's ability to see, hear, and reason with these dynamic agents, that's a massive leap forward. But most researchers in the field would agree that true AGI requires stuff we just haven't seen yet, things like genuine self-correction or deep, robust common sense. So Musk's claims? They're probably a classic mix of some ambitious marketing and a real, genuine belief in where his team is headed.
So what's the bottom line here? Look, Grok 5 is absolutely set to be one of the most powerful AI models ever built. There's no doubt about that. It's going to push the boundaries of what we think is possible, but that just leaves us with the ultimate question to chew on. Is a powerful tool, no matter how sophisticated, the same thing as a truly intelligent mind?